traders, FXPIPCOLLECTOR here. Today is Wednesday, April 12th, and thanks for joining my live stream. As usual, we're gonna start off by looking at the DXY and the US dollar index. We're gonna do a full top-down analysis on the US dollar. Then we're gonna apply any information that we may learn from analyzing the US dollar index, and we're gonna apply that to all the other US dollar pairs, including gold. So definitely thanks for showing up. I really do appreciate the support. And as usual, let's just get started right away. So we're going to definitely start off by looking at this US dollar. I still think that the DXY most likely has ended a correction right here. If this right here really is the end of a correction, then this is now in a downtrend. And a downtrend is just going to continue to make lower lows, lower highs, and most likely eventually take out this low way back here. Now an ABC correction is going to do the same thing, whether you're talking about the monthly time frame or you're talking about the 1 minute time frame or anything in between. An ABC correction, if it really is the end of an ABC correction, will continue the downtrend. So let's keep that in mind. Let's head down to the weekly time frame. And I like to switch back to the US dollar index as soon as possible because this one right here I definitely do trust more than the DXY, which is definitely very counteractive compared to most traders. I do not really trust the DXY because it's so heavily weighted to the euro dollar. But anyways, we have definitely a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. I still think there's a very good chance this is a wave 1. This move up right here definitely did go right to a Fibonacci level. The 38.6 made a nice impulsive move down. I am still thinking there's a good chance that's the end of a wave 2 and this is just going to keep on trending down, all part of a big wave 3, because I still think this is the end of a correction up here on the weekly and the monthly time frame. So let's head down even more to the daily. Now on the daily time frame, I think this is where you can actually start to see the downtrend. We got a few different things going on here. Let me get rid of this real quick. There we go. So I still think this is a downtrend, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 down. Then we got a nice impulsive move up. We got a clear break of structure. I still, like I've been saying for quite a while now, it looks to me like either a motive wave correction, A, B, C, D, E, or either it's an A, B, C, D, E, or possibly it is a motive wave correction. Either way, I do believe that there's a good chance that right there is the end of a correction. Now this move down so far does look more like a trend, telling me that any moves we see to the upside most likely are going to be just corrections to the downtrend. We did have a pretty strong move up here, but you will notice that it never took out structure. It never told us that this move down was over. And today at the news, it made another impulsive move down, which I still believe is just going to keep on trending down. I think this is a 1, a 2, and I think we're in a big wave 3 right now. So let's head down to the daily time frame. Daily time frame, I will admit that the DXY looks a little better than the dollar because the DXY is so heavily weighted to the euro. This is actually a little more clear that it's an ABC correction than the US dollar, but I still prefer to use the US dollar. So as I just showed you, I believe this is an A. I believe this is like a wave B right there. And I believe this is a wave C. It definitely did go up to these Fibonacci levels, made a nice impulsive move down. I still believe that this is more likely to just keep on trending down, making those lower lows, lower highs. I think we had the end of a correction. We definitely got a lower high, impulsive down. Definitely no reason to think this move down is over as of yet, and I believe it will just keep on trending down. So let's take it down to the 1 hour time frame. On the 1 hour time frame is where we can see the end of this correction. So this right here is definitely a downtrend. That's very impulsive. And then we have a very clear 3 waves up. That right there is definitely the end of a correction. And then what happened today, we had another 3 waves up. And at the news, very, very impulsive move down. Definitely looks to me like the end of a correction. So far, we do have a little bit of a 3-wave pattern here, which does kind of make you wonder if it's going to turn into an ABC. You know, there's almost always a point in a 1, 2, 3 where you're looking at it wondering if it's an ABC, but I still believe it's a wave 3. And I still believe that this is just going to keep on drifting down. Now, a lot of the times after a big news event like this, it'll kind of just drift around in one area until everybody gets sick of watching it, and then later on, bam, just keep on trending down. So I'm definitely still very bullish on the dollar. Basically every single longer time frame is telling me that the trend is down. So these shorter time frames, I'm still just looking for short entries at the end of every single one of these points. And yeah, there might have been a couple points where I might have had like a break-even trade, like right here, or maybe right there. But I definitely made up for it there, and I definitely made up for it here and there. So right now, definitely very bearish on the dollar. I think on the much longer time frames, we got a major lots and lots of movement to the downside to come. So let's take that information and let's apply it to all the other US dollar pairs, starting with the euro dollar. Now, I still think that this, we're going to do the daily time frame down on all the dollar pairs. We're not going to do the full top-down analysis. If you do want to see my full top-down analysis on most of these dollar pairs, I make videos every single weekday for a good majority of these dollar pairs. So definitely check that out. If you haven't already, definitely like and subscribe so you can watch my videos. But anyways, it still looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I still think this is an ABC. I think this wave 5 may be a 1. I think this ABC may be a 2. And I think we're still in a wave 3. We had a pretty good little move down, but you will notice it made a higher low, higher low, higher low. Definitely still in an uptrend, and it's definitely still going up. So, very nice opportunity. I still think this is going to break his high. Maybe it'll pull back afterwards, but I still believe it'll just keep on making higher highs and higher lows. Which, if it does pull back, is very good for us because that will give us an opportunity to go long at the end of any ABC pullbacks, especially on the shorter time frames. So going down to the 4-hour time frame, if you watched my video this morning I made on the euro dollar, you will see that I said this looks like an ABC correction. It looked like it ended a correction. I think yesterday was when it looked like that, and it definitely doesn't look over to me. It looks like a 1, 2, 3. I think it's going to go up. I think it's going to break this high. Probably someplace around that high we will get a bigger pullback, but definitely a very good entry, and I don't think it's over yet. Ah, nice. So people are making some good trades today. I definitely had some good trades today too. So because it was definitely a trend trade, and it was definitely a very clear entry on some of these pairs. It was also very clear that this was an ABC correction, and that was the end of a correction. And since we knew that was the end of a correction, we knew that it was probably going to take out this high and probably go a lot further than that. I think we have a 1. This is probably like an ABC of 2, and I think we're in the middle of a wave 3. Like I was showing on the longer time frames, I don't think it's over. It probably will make some pullbacks, kind of drift around, but I do believe it will keep on going up. Yeah, definitely some good trades today. Very good trades. Nice opportunities, nice clear trend trades. Now look at this one on the 15-minute time frame. This may be the clearest entry of the day. 1 down, 3 up, 1 down. Before the news came out, it went up. I entered before the news came out right there because of that 3-way pattern, and look at that thing go. It's very, very nice trade. I took a little bit of profit out the table up in these highs, about 50%, and the rest of it I'm just going to leave running and let the profits run. So I took 50% of my trade off just so that way I could now have a 100% risk-free trade. Worst case scenario, I'm still going to make a good amount of money even if it does pull back. So going down to the pound dollar, let's check out the pound dollar, which is actually even clearer than the euro dollar. Now the pound dollar is very similar though. It looks like a 1, 2, 3, ABC of 4, and 5 of 1. It looks like an ABC, most likely a wave 2, and I still think this is all part of a wave 3 on this one also. It did pull back over the last couple of days, but you will notice it never broke any lows. These are all higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. That's definitely still in an uptrend, and I do not think it's over. I think it will just keep on trending up, making them higher highs, higher lows, because I believe we're in a wave 3. So if we're in a wave 3, that means we got a long ways to go, because a wave 3 will probably be bigger than a wave 1, and this whole move up is a wave 1, I believe. So going down to the 4-hour time frame, 4-hour time frame, this right here wasn't the clearest, but we could definitely see it was a crescent because of how overlapping it was. I removed my Fibonacci level because I put my Fibonacci extension on, but I did see that this turned pretty much right at a Fibonacci level. Impulsive up, wave 1, corrective down, wave 2. It definitely looks like to me like it's in a wave 3. Earlier today I was thinking maybe this was going to be an A and maybe this was going to be a B. So if it does have a second reaction and turn down, there's always a possibility it could go down and make a C. But I really don't think that is going to happen. I think this is a 3, and I think it's just going to keep on going up, making higher highs and higher lows. Going down to the 1-hour time frame, the pound dollar was so clear. Nice impulsive up, higher highs, higher lows. 1, 2, 3 waves down. 50% Fibonacci level. Impulsive move up. Extremely clear end of a crescent right there. Almost a picture perfect end of a crescent. If you look up an ABC crescent, this is pretty much exactly what an ABC crescent should look like. And what happens at the end of an ABC crescent, it will take out the most recent high, and it will probably keep on going from there. So let's check out the Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar broke structure finally, which is a good sign. I've been saying for quite a while that this was going to make a higher low also, higher low, and that it was going to actually start trending up also. I still think that the Aussie dollar is going to go up, and I do believe that it will just keep on going. So definitely no reason to think that that is over on the Aussie dollar. Now the Aussie dollar definitely wouldn't be one that I was trading because of how weak the Aussie's been. And it definitely didn't hit a Fibonacci level. It kind of turned right in between them. So you can't really 100% rely on Fibonacci, but I still think that this move up is not over. I still think that it will keep on going up. We'll probably look at this tomorrow, and we'll probably see something like this. So I do believe it's still going up, and I do not think it's over yet. Going down to the 1-hour time frame, like I said, I definitely wouldn't be choosing the Aussie dollar to go long on because of how weak it is. And it definitely does have a little bit of a three-way pattern right there, which does make you wonder a little bit if this is an ABC, just like I was showing on the, I think it was the dollar index. But I don't really think it is. I still think there's a very good chance it's probably just going to go down, make a top is going to become a bottom, and it will probably just keep on trending up, I bet. So definitely still very bullish on this. Kiwi dollar broke structure also today, but it almost automatically started pulling back. This is another one that I don't think I would have chosen to go long on just because of how weak it's been. But it does look like it's trying to make a higher low. It does look to me like it's more likely to just keep on going up. I think this is an A right here. I think this is 3 waves down for a B, and I still think it's going to go up and make a big old wave C. Pretty much just like the Aussie dollar. Going down to the 4-hour time frame, we do have a break of structure, which pretty much proves to me that this whole move down is over. Most likely, it does still seem to me like it should just keep on going up. Based on the US dollar is why I believe that all these pairs are going to move in this direction still. So I'm definitely still bullish on the Kiwi. I think that it probably is going down a little bit now, but it's probably just trying to trap people into going short. I think there's a very good chance it will just keep on trending up. So the US dollar Canadian is a nice one. Let's head up to the daily. Now this one I definitely could picture going up again, and we do have Canadian news coming out in a few minutes here, probably about 15 minutes, so we're going to switch over to the Canadian pairs after we finish looking at the rest of these dollar pairs and see if we can figure out what's going to happen with that news. But it definitely looks to me like we have the end of a crescent right here. I think that any movement we see to the upside is just going to be a crescent to the downtrend, and I still think it's going to go down more. I think we probably are going to go up, but I think that move up is going to be a part of a crescent. It definitely looks to me like this is a trend because it is higher highs, higher lows. It probably is a wave A. This probably is a wave B, and we do have Canadian news coming out soon. It probably is going to go up and spend the rest of the day, maybe a couple of days going up to make a wave C, probably up to one of these 2 Fibonacci levels. And I bet once it finishes that, it will just keep on going down. Yeah, I don't know if I would enter now. You're definitely going to be chasing it a little bit if you try to enter now. But you could definitely try. So it definitely looks like this is a wave A. It definitely looks like this is 3 waves down. And it did break structure, which pretty much proves this move down is over. It probably is a wave B. So if this really is a wave B, then this probably is going to actually end up continuing the uptrend, making higher highs and higher lows for that wave C. I believe this is going to go up and make a wave C. And I do not believe that this wave C is actually over yet. Just give me a few minutes here. I got a couple trades going on also, so I'm trying to make sure that I pay attention to that. I'm gonna probably go. Sorry, everybody. I was just doing a little bit of trade management here. There we go. All set. Good to go. So I still think this is all part of a wave C. And I don't really think that the wave C is actually over yet. So it's probably actually just starting. And like I said, we do have Canadian news coming out pretty soon. US dollar Swiss is an awesome one. I've been short on this one for quite a while. I went short on the US dollar Swiss and the Euro Swiss the other day. And I'm still in those. So this is definitely a pretty nice downtrend. We definitely have 3 waves up. We had a break of structure, but almost as soon as it broke structure, it just went back down. And it still looks to me like it's going down. I do not think it's over. It's most likely just going to keep on going. So definitely still very bearish on the US dollar Swiss. Going down to the 4-hour time frame, this is extremely clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 downtrend. Fibonacci from top to bottom. 1 up, 2 or 3 down, and then 1 up again. Right to the 61.8. Impulsive move down, that's actually a very clear entry also, and it's not, I do not believe it's over. I believe it's just going to keep on going down. Maybe it'll make a pullback for the rest of the day, but even if it does, I think it's just going to be a correction to the downtrend, and I still think that we have a long ways to go to the downside. So going up to the 1-hour time frame, this looks to me like a wave A. I think this is a little 3-wave correcting pattern for the B, and I think this is going up for a wave C. It definitely did miss the 61 by a few pips, but that's definitely close enough for me to call a hit. I do not see any reason to think this is over. I believe it will just keep on going down. Lower lows and lower highs. US dollar yen, another very clear one. Now, the problem with the US dollar yen is that the yen is driving this now more than the dollar, which is kind of why I'm staying away from the US dollar yen a little bit now, personally, because it's kind of a battle between the US dollar and the yen. The yen's moving a lot lately because it's a risk-on currency, but the US dollar is moving a lot too, so it's kind of a little bit of a battle going on. I still think it looks like an ABC correction. I still think this move down is a trend. I still think this move up is probably a correction to this last move down. As you notice, it did turn at the 50%. It really looks like it ended a correction and that it's just going to keep on going down from here. So let's head down to the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, we do have a break of structure here. I definitely don't like how it's pulling back almost immediately, but it definitely does look like a 5-wave trend for the A. It looks like a B. It looks like an uptrend for the C. It definitely did turn at the 50. It looks like it's gonna already made an entry to go short, and it's already just gonna keep on going down. It definitely looks like the end of a wave C. Yeah, we check my schedule. I changed my schedule now that on Discord. Definitely check my schedule because I changed it now that I finished my course. So check that out if you want to know when I'm live streaming and when I'm Zoom meetings are going to happen. So I am definitely going to be doing more Zoom meetings and more live streams now that I finished my course. So definitely check that out. The link for my free Discord channel is right here. And if anybody is interested in joining my Patreon page, I now have my course complete. So anybody that is a gold member gets access to my trading course. So I'll put that in the link and in the description, no problem. So we'll definitely check that out. Yeah, we're going to look at a few things. We'll probably have time to look at that, but we got Canadian news coming out in a few minutes, so we definitely got to pay attention to that also. So anyways, on the 1-hour time frame, We definitely got a break of structure here. It definitely looks like it's trying to end the wave C. It seems to me like it's most likely just going to keep on going down, making lower lows and lower highs. So let's check out gold. Now, I am in a little bit of a hurry here because we do need to check out the Canadian pairs. Ooh, gold did make one heck of a pullback. So unless it takes this out this low, the trend is definitely still up on gold 100%. It definitely made a one heck of a pullback, but until it takes out structure, I still consider the trend up, and I still consider that it's more likely to continue the uptrend. But it definitely, wow, that definitely made a big turn now. It took out structure too. That could be a wave B right there, which is what I was mentioning before. That could be a wave B, and we could be going down already to make a wave C. Even if it does go down, I think that it's still just going to keep on trending up in the long run. So I'm still very bullish on this. And this could be just a little bit of a stop hunt. It could very easily just keep on drifting up like that. All the higher time frames tell me that the trend is up. So I'm still extremely bullish on gold. I definitely don't see any reason to think that it's going down longer term. But we do have a break of structure right here. That should prove that this move up is over. Unless it makes a stop hunt over the next couple hours and does that. It does look like that move up is over. This move down is also lower lows, lower highs, making me think that it's a trend, like a wave A. This move up kind of looks like a trend also, but the way that's turning, it does make me think it's a B. And it does kind of make me think that it's going to go down and make a C. So I'll definitely be a little bit on the cautious side with that one. Like I said, I'm still extremely bullish on gold. Even if this does go down like this, I wouldn't go short. I would still be waiting for a long opportunity at the end of the wave C for the continuation of the uptrend. So I still don't really think, maybe on the 1 hour time frame and under, it may go down a little bit. But on the longer time frames, gold is extremely bullish still. We are at a Fibonacci level, so that may be a reason for it to make a bigger move down. But even if it does, if this really is a wave 3, then a wave 3 needs to be bigger than a wave 1. A wave 1, I got my Fibonacci extension projecting off the bottom of wave 2. A wave 3 needs to go beyond the 100% Fibonacci extension of wave 1. So that tells me that we still have a lot of upside potential on gold. Even if it does make a pullback on the shorter time frames, I still believe that we have a long ways to go to the upside still. Hold on here just a second. Hold on here. I gotta fix something real quick. This is bugging me. There we go. That's better. Sorry, I had to put my taskbar back. There we go. So anyways, let's go back and check out. Yeah, now I can easily switch back and forth, so that's better. So we need to definitely check out the Canadian pairs. We got Canadian news coming out pretty soon. Let's go to the news calendar real quick and check that out. We got the bank rate statement coming out in a few minutes for the Canadian. They're not really projecting to change the rate. They're probably going to keep it the same, so it may not be much of a surprise to the market. But it's definitely worth taking a look at because it may actually make it for a pretty good trading opportunity. Sometimes the Canadian pairs get neglected, but sometimes they can be really good pairs to trade. So, yeah, wow, the US dollar, that's definitely moving, but that's because of the US dollar. So, let's see if we can figure out what's most likely to happen for these Canadian pairs at the news that's about to come out. So, the US dollar Canadian, we already looked at that, and we already decided that it probably is going to go up, but it's probably going to be a crutch into this move down, and then it's probably going to continue down later. Let's see if the other Canadian pairs agree with that. Let's see, so I was thinking that it would go up, but then they would go back down. So yeah, definitely not really agreeing on that one too well. That kind of looks to me like it's in a big wave 3. But let's see, maybe it will just keep on going down too. We'll see. It kind of looks like it's trying to go up also. Yeah, this right here, yeah, not really too special. I'm not really following a lot of these other pairs right now. It kind of looks like it's trying to go up. Not really agreeing that much. Ooh, the Aussie Canadian, that looks like an ABC. We're right at a Fibonacci level. So if that breaks structure, which it looks like it pretty much already did, that would probably be a pretty nice entry. The Kiwi, ooh, that definitely looks like a correction also. Kind of looks like an ABCDE. That looks like it could be trying to end the wave E right at the 38% Fibonacci level. So that kind of does make sense. We're preparing for the Canadian news right now, if anybody is wondering what I'm actually doing. Pound Canadian, yeah, the Pound Canadian, we'll look at all the Canadian pairs. So the Canadian yen, if I think the US dollar Canadian's going up, then the Canadian yen should go down a little. So that probably does make sense that this would go down, but I think it would probably make a higher low and keep on going up like that. I still think it's going to take out this high. So that does make sense. And the Swiss yen, that should be going, let's see, I think that could go up. So this is already going down. That's already going down. So yeah, it's more of a Swiss thing probably. If we look at all Swiss pairs, we'll probably see that the Swiss is moving right now also. Yeah, definitely. That's definitely a Swiss move, not a Canadian move. So we kind of got to forget about that. Now let's go down to the 1 hour and do the exact same thing we just did, except for now we're on the 1 hour time frame trying to figure out what's most likely to happen. So on the 1 hour, if it went up, it took out structure and went up and made a wave C, just like I was saying a little while ago, that probably would make the most sense. Let's see, the Pound Canadian, does it make sense for that to go up? It's already going up. It looks like it already ended some sort of a correction right there. That's already ended something. It's already going up. So maybe the news is already in. The Euro Canadian's already going up too. That could be a Euro thing. So is the Aussie Canadian. Wow, that's definitely a Canadian. So we might already have the entry. The entry might have happened a few hours ago. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 or 5 hours ago the entry might have happened. Look at the Canadian yen. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 or 5 hours ago we had a break of structure. That would have been a pretty nice sorting opportunity. And the Swiss yen is definitely moving too, but that's a little bit of the Swiss also. But that's actually very clear. We got impulsive down, 3 waves up, impulsive down. That definitely looks pretty clear that that's the end of a correction right there. Definitely no reason to think that's over. So I'm starting to think that the move on the Canadian pairs has actually already happened. It's already going. So that may be the case. Definitely seems like it. So we got about a minute before the news comes out, so let's just hang out and see what's going to happen. We'll watch the US dollar Canadian and see what's going to happen with the Canadian news. Get this ready so we can see this. They're probably not going to change the rate, so it's probably not going to be too much of a surprise to the market. Now, while we're waiting, I wanted to just show everybody, this is my course that I just finished, and if you're a Gold Patreon member, it's free to all Gold Patreon members. It's about over 30 videos. It's about 38 videos on here. Everything from Fibonacci, Elliott wave, structure analysis, tuning your time frames, trading psychology, and my actual trading plan. So if anybody is interested in joining my Gold Patreon membership, then it now comes with the course that I just finished. So I'll put the link for that one. Oh, there's the news. Let's see if it does anything. I'll put the link for that in the description and in the chats. Yeah, Canadian news is never really that big of a mover. That's why I don't really follow it that much. Ooh, it is starting to go up a little though. Not very much. Let's see what happened. It probably, yeah, they didn't even change it. They kept it the same. So that's probably gonna drift up for the rest of the day. I bet this is gonna go up and make a wave C. I think it's gonna go up to about the 38%. So that's a pretty clear entry, really. Yeah, I think that's looking pretty nice. So anyways, so we pretty much got that figured out. Like I said, most of these entries happened hours ago. Like 4 or 5 hours ago, this is when that Canadian entry happened. So really, unless you got in the US dollar Canadian, you're probably chasing it. Unless you got in, 3-4 hours ago, you're probably actually chasing it a little bit. So we'll see what happens. We'll have to come back and watch this later. The Canadian news is never really a big mover in my experience, but every once in a while it definitely can surprise us. So what was it that you requested? The Aussie Kiwi and natural gas. Let me write that down. Aussie Kiwi and natural gas. So let's go look at a few requests while we're waiting. We're going to have to come back and see if these Canadian pairs actually move or not. So let's see. We got a few things to look at. We got the US 30, which was requested a few days ago from one of my members. Let's see if this agrees with the S&P 500, which I think this is actually a wave A. I think this is going to be 3 waves up for a wave B, and I think it's going to go down again for a wave C, probably down to about the 50%, maybe even lower. So now that we got that, so it is pretty much the same. So really what we should be doing is putting our Fibonacci extension, measuring this, get on there, from the top to the bottom, from the bottom to the top, to the bottom of the crescent. Most likely place for this to go is probably the 78% or maybe the 100% Fibonacci extension. Let me just fix that so we can see it on multiple time frames. I don't really want to see that anymore. So the most likely place for this to go is probably maybe the 61.8 is where it's going to go. Usually it goes to 100, but that would bring a new high. So I think probably the 61 would be the most likely place for this to actually go. So I think this is actually just going to keep on going up, probably to about there, and then go down, break structure, ending that move, and probably continue in the downtrend. So we're definitely going up. Definitely no reason to think otherwise. I think it's going to end up going past this, and I think it's going to just keep on trending, making higher highs and higher lows. Definitely no reason to think it's over yet. Yeah, I think it's going to keep going up. Look at all the pullbacks. Nice pullbacks. Real nice pullbacks. ABC. 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 ABC down, ABC, and ABC. Very, very nice entries. Even back here we got a bunch of nice ABC 3-wave pullbacks. They're pretty much all 3-wave pullbacks, so that's pretty nice. Definitely don't see any reason to think this is over. It's still going up. No reason to think otherwise. So the Nifty Bank was also requested. This is similar to that US 30, but it's definitely a little bit different. It definitely looks like it ended a crescent. This definitely looks like a crescent, so it probably is going to go up and make a double top before it goes down again. Daily, yeah, it probably is going up. It looks like a 1, 2, 3. So I bet this is going to go up and end up back up to these highs. 4-hour time frame, I would definitely still be looking for longs. It really looks like a 1, a 2, and it looks like we're in a wave 3 right now. And it doesn't really look like the wave 3 is over. I bet it's going to just keep on going up. Probably something along these lines. So, yeah, I would definitely still be looking for longs on this one for sure. We had a long opportunity right around the market open today, right there. And I don't really think it's over, so if you see another pullback, I would just get in again. Just keep on going long at the end of every single ABC pullback that you may actually see. So there's the stock market. Let's look at natural gas. Actually, yeah, let's go look at natural gas, and then we got a couple of Forex pairs to look at. Did natural gas ever make that turn or what? Oh, it kind of did. It did break a little bit of structure. Like I've been saying, this is an extremely clear pair right now. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 3. If this wave 3 is over, then it's probably going to go up and make a crescent very similar to the size of the wave 2 for a wave 4, and then probably back down one more time for a wave 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 downtrend. So let's see, is that wave finally over? We definitely have a break of structure, which is a good sign that that move down could be over. I honestly don't think I would even try to go long on this, but If that break of structure is a good break, then it should go up and now start going up to make like a wave A of wave 4, just like what I was showing on the longer time frames. But I don't know, I feel like it's kind of dangerous trying to trade this one short, try to trade this long, because really if you went short for pretty much any reason over the last few months, then you would be in a lot of profit. It does look like a wave A though. It looks like 3 waves up for a B. I bet we're in a wave C. And with this break of structure, usually if you can get in on the first pullback, that's going to be the clearest entry and probably the end of a wave 2 and the beginning of a wave 3. Probably a wave 3 of wave 4, or a wave 3 of wave A, which is wave A is going to be part of a big wave 4, I bet. So definitely check that out. It's looking pretty good. Let's see, let's go check out the Aussie Yen real quick, the Aussie Kiwi also. It's another one that I don't normally follow. I pretty much only follow the dollar pairs and the yen pairs these days. It looked like it ended a correction right here. If it did end a correction right there, then this move up is going to be a correction to the move down. So it kind of looks like it ended a correction. Yeah, look at, we have a breakout of the triangle and then we have like a retest, and now I bet it's going to go up again. It's probably going to go up, at least take out those highs, I would think. So now let's go down to a shorter time frame. So if that's true, then we probably want to have a Fibonacci on here. That move down definitely looks more like a trend than a correction too. This looks like a trend. So I bet this is going to be an ABC correction, probably go up to one of these 3 or 4 fibs, and then continue the downtrend. 4-hour time frame. Looks like we're about to break this structure, which will prove to me that this whole move down is over. It looks like a 1, 2, looks like a wave 3. I bet it's going to break structure, pull back, and then go up, and this is going to be a 3, 4, 5 of wave A. And then it'll probably make a B, and then probably go up again for a C, probably up to the 50, maybe the 61.8 to finish an ABC correction before it actually ends up continuing the downtrend. So yeah, it definitely looks like this is all one section of trend here, probably a wave 1. This looks like 3-wave pattern right there, probably a wave 2, and then it looks like a 1, 2, 3 of 3. So the next move down is probably going to be a 4 of 3, and then it'll make a 5 of 3, and then it'll make a bigger 4, and then a bigger wave 5. It's going to be a 3, a 4, and a 5. So that is most likely what's going on there. It definitely seems pretty clear. Nice, couple nice, real nice entries back here. I think there was this one in the pound, the euro pound, that seems to me like they make very nice looking pullbacks. Look at all these pullbacks, beautiful corrections, very, very clear corrections, every single one of them pretty much. It looks like the end of a correction right there actually. And even this is a bigger correction, but that's extremely clear also. So yeah, I would definitely be bullish on this one. It looks like it's in a wave 3 still. The next move down is probably going to be a wave 4 of wave 3. Let's see, is the yen pairs moving today because of this news? Not really. So let's see, the euro yen. I made a video for the euro yen yesterday, but I think this is a 1, 2, 3, and I think we have a long ways to go to the upside. It's probably going to break out of here and probably go a lot further than that. If you missed my full top-down analysis, definitely check that out because I do the full monthly all the way down. But it definitely looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it looks like an A, B, C. That right there is definitely the end of a correction. And so far, there's no reason to think it's over. It just made a new high-low. If it goes down and takes out that structure, I still think it's going up. It just means it's probably going to make a correction to this last wave. So definitely very bullish on this one also. Yeah, we did have an end of a correction at the news today. Little 3-way pattern right there. Nice little opportunity. It looks like it could possibly be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there is always a chance it turns down and takes out structure and then makes a correction to this whole move up, which is actually what I'm hoping for, because I need to see a bigger correction to enter. I'm not going to enter on one of these little subdivisions. I'm looking for a trade that I can hold on to for a week or more. So I'm waiting for a bigger correction for a better opportunity to go long, definitely. So the pound yen should be pretty similar. Yeah, the pound yen's pretty similar. I still think this has got a long ways to go too. Definitely got the end of a correction back there. No structure break yet. Trend is definitely still up. It could be a wave 5, so maybe I'm actually hoping it does make a bigger correction, so that way it can give me another opportunity to enter at the end of the correction for the continuation of this uptrend, hopefully. So that should look pretty good. But we do definitely have a correction that we ended today, probably like a 15-minute correction, but this is definitely the end of a correction most likely. Higher low, higher low. It's probably just going to keep going up. Like I said, I kind of hope that it's not going up, so that way it can get a bigger correction and a better opportunity to go long. So that's looking pretty good. Yeah, we can look at silver. Yeah, we can take a look at silver, no problem. Let's see, silver, yeah, gold, that was pretty much just a stop hunt. Gold, silver should be pretty similar to gold. It's definitely a little different, but I think it is very similar. I think it's going up. I think there's a good chance it could even eventually get all the way up there. So I'm definitely extremely bullish on silver and gold. Definitely looks like a 1-2 and we're in a wave 3. We can get rid of this Fibonacci because we know that's nothing. We can probably get rid of that because that's nothing. So we definitely have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like a 1. This moved down very, very strong. That's a motive wave correction for the wave 2. And as you can see, we're going up. Now we just recently broke these highs, so I am expecting a bigger pullback, hopefully, because at the end of that pullback, it will give us a much better, much safer entry to go long for the continuation of the uptrend. So definitely looking pretty decent. Let's see, we gotta check back on those Canadian pairs here in a minute, see what's going on with those. We definitely looks to me like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If this goes down and takes out structure, we'll know that this whole trend is over, and then it will probably make a correction to the whole trend, like an A, B, C, something along these lines, which would make a lot of sense because they've been on such a whip lately that it's probably time for them to take a breath. So I would be expecting something like this, but I wouldn't really fully expect it until it took out this low, because there's always a chance it just keeps on drifting up. There's a few times that we might have thought that this was turning, but if we were paying attention to our structure, we would have known that it's not turning because it never took out any structure to the downside. So there's definitely no reason to think it's actually turning until it actually does turn. Now, way down here, that's the structure I'm looking for. Yeah, there's definitely some minor structures right here, but that right there is definitely the last major structure. So unless it goes down and takes out that low, the trend is definitely still up, and I would definitely still be primarily looking for longs in an uptrend. So yeah, definitely pretty clear. Let's go check out those Canadian pairs. I want to see what's going on with those, and then we'll look at the dollar pairs again. Oh, looks like that's gonna go down. That definitely didn't end the correction. Oops. So yeah, that's definitely going down. There's no doubt about that. So let's see here. What do we got? What do we got here? I entered a little bit of a buy today on the US dollar Canadian. I just got out of. I'm so everybody could see. So it's pretty much the dollar. The rest of the Canadian pairs are still extremely bullish. I wouldn't get out. If I was long on any of these other Canadian pairs, I definitely wouldn't get out of those yet. Especially the Swiss. Wow, Swiss Canadian. The Canadian Swiss, definitely not. Looking pretty good. But the Canadian news is usually pretty underwhelming. You look at the daily, you can barely even tell that anything happened. Yeah, the Canadian news was definitely pretty underwhelming, that's for sure. Let's go back to the dollar pairs. It looks like the dollar's still moving, big time. Like I said, I believe we have the end of a crescent, and I believe this is going to keep going down, because I think this is the end of a crescent way up there, and if that's the end of a crescent, then this will keep going down. Yeah, definitely no reason to think that's over. For sure, 1, 2, 3. So definitely no reason to think that's over. It's going to at least go up to here. I think it'll probably go a lot further than that. No problem, Fly. That's good. I'm glad to help. Like I said, I do enjoy helping. But if anybody is interested, definitely join my Patreon page. That's where I teach how I trade, and I also just finished my trading course. This right here is my trading course that I just finished this week. All gold members get access to this trading course with their gold membership. And if you're a member for 3 months, then you get a lifetime access to all updates. So definitely check that out. It's an extremely good bargain. And it also includes my members forecast area, the private chats, and a whole lot of other benefits. So definitely check out the link if you are interested in joining. It's you get a lot for your money, definitely. So anyways, the pound dollar, very, very clear entry. This is probably going to be the clearest entry of the day right here. Very, very clear entry. Definitely no reason to think it's over. Aussie dollar is starting to pick up some momentum too. Like I said, this is probably not the first choice that I would pick, but it's probably going to do something pretty similar to the other pairs. Probably something like that. Yeah, like I always say, Philip, trading definitely doesn't have to be difficult. It has to be repetitive, but it doesn't have to be difficult. Kiwi dollar broke structure, so definitely no reason to think that's over. US dollar Canadian, I thought maybe the US dollar Canadian would go up and make a wave C, but it's pretty obvious that that's the end of a crescent, and I think it actually is going to keep going down now that it didn't go up. Like I said, if it did go up, if it did break structure, I definitely would go long for a wave C, but it never did that, so we're still bullish. We're still expecting more movement to the downside. US dollar Swiss, that's a very nice one right there. US dollar Swiss, end of a crescent right there. And definitely no reason to think that's over. When you see a big move like that, you can pretty much guarantee it's not over. Even if it does go up, it's probably going to go down again. US dollar yen, the same thing. I think this is probably the end of a crescent also. End of a 50% Fibonacci, break of structure. If you can get in on a pullback, that's probably going to be a really nice entry to go short. And gold. Gold had a stop hunt today, I think. I think there's a good chance it's just going to keep drifting up like that. Definitely very, very bullish on gold and silver. Very bullish. So let me check Discord real quick, see what we got going on. I don't really see any new requests. I did a video for Bitcoin earlier today, so I don't really see any point in looking at that. We could maybe check out oil real quick, see if that's continuing the uptrend, which it is. Still all part of a wave 3. I think that oil is going to go up and take out this high, and I think it's going to be a wave A. No reason to think that's over yet. Right here, it was very, very corrective. It looked like it could have gone down, but it never broke any lows. Higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high. Still trending up. I don't think that this is over either. So if we see more pullbacks, like right here was a little bit of a pullback, that could have been an entry to go long a few hours ago. Pretty nice looking, definitely. So if you haven't done so already, definitely join my free Discord channel. It's 100% free to join. No obligations to pay a penny if you do not want to. Like I said, the Patreon service is available. But if you want to stay a free member, you can stay a free member as long as you want. So let's see, what have we not looked at? We looked at all the yen pairs, crypto. I just did a video today on Bitcoin. So I think that's pretty much it. We pretty much covered everything. It looks like the Canadian pairs would have been a good trade about 4 hours before the news came out. Definitely not a good trade now. The dollar pairs definitely had a very clear entry today, especially the pound dollar, and probably, let's see, what else had a clear entry? Well, this US dollar Swiss was an extremely clear entry, but that happened days ago. Way back here was the entry. And yeah, the US dollar yen I think might end up being a good entry too. Like I was saying earlier, I'm kind of staying away from this one a little bit because the yen is moving a lot right now because it's a risk on currency, and the dollar is moving a lot now because of everything going on in the US with the dollar and all the dollar news that we've been getting. So it's a little bit of strong versus strong or weak versus weak. We don't want weak versus weak, we want strong versus weak, or we want weak versus strong. So that's a little bit of a battle going on right there, but it definitely looks like a trend and a correction, and it's at the 50%, so it looks to me like it's just going to keep on going down. But like I said, I'm kind of staying away because the yen pairs, to me, every single one of these yen pairs on the much longer time frames look like they got a long ways to go to the upside. My euro yen take profit area is way up here. My pound yen zone is way up here. And Aussie yen, I definitely, like I said, I wouldn't be trying to go long on any Aussie pairs, even the Aussie yen, but I still think it will probably make it all the way up there. Kiwi yen, same thing. I think we're going to eventually end up here. We are on the monthly, so it may take a year to get there, but I still think that it will get there. Canadian yen is another one that was so weak to the downside, but it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I still think this one's going up also. Swiss yen has been probably one of the best ones. We had an ABC way back here in 2020, and it's been ripping ever since. The Swiss is a risk-on currency also. So when there's a lot of risk in the market, money will flow to the Swiss and the yen, and then it will also flow to commodities like gold and silver and maybe oil and things like that. So yeah, definitely looking pretty good. And like I said, the US dollar yen, all the other yen pairs I'm expecting to go up. So that's why I'm kind of staying away from this, because all the dollar pairs I'm expecting to go down. So we have a weak dollar versus a weak yen. And I don't really want to trade weak versus weak. I would prefer to trade weak versus strong. So that's why, even though that looks like a good entry on the US dollar yen, I'm not really sure if I would take it. Just because of that alone. I'm not really looking to trade weak versus weak. Definitely everything's looking pretty good with the dollar. Definitely no reason to worry about that. Depending on what kind of trader you are, I think it would be worth holding on to these trades if you had a good entry today. Canadian pairs, yeah, I don't really think there's much going on with those. There was definitely a very nice entry hours ago, like 4 or 5 hours ago, but that's pretty much already over with. And we do have a little bit more news coming out today. We have that press conference starting in a little while. That may actually cause the Canadian pairs to move, so definitely keep an eye on that. Then we also have this G20 meetings. That's usually a pretty good, the market definitely reacts to those. And we have FOMC minutes, meeting minutes. So definitely got some more news coming, and we have The pound at 8:15 at night, we got somebody speaking, Bailey speaking for the UK. So we definitely have a little bit more news today, and I think we have a little bit more news tomorrow. We got unemployment claims, we got GDP for the pound, PPI for the dollar, unemployment claims for the dollar, we got another G20 meeting, core retail sales. Yeah, that could be a wave 5, but looking at the longer time frames, I don't think it is. Like I said, I do believe that it's going up on the higher time frames. It definitely could be a wave 5. I definitely see what you mean. But for me, the clarity is up here. And yeah, that definitely could be a wave 5, and it would be 100% normal if it did go down, and then up, and then down, and then up. It would be like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. So that definitely would make sense if that did happen. But I would have to see some sort of a break of structure to believe it, because right now it looks like it's just going up in one big trend. So if I see some sort of a break of structure down, then maybe I would believe that this was over. Even if it broke this structure, that would at least tell me this is over. And if I knew that was over, I would probably know that it is a wave 5. So watch this structure. If it turns, it definitely could be the end. I think that on oil, we're going up for a B and then eventually down again for a C. But this is the monthly. Really, this is probably tuned better to the weekly. Probably going up for an A, B, C. Probably up to the 61.8 is what I'm thinking. Especially with all this consolidation back here. And then eventually, I think it will go back down again for a C. But as of now, if I was trading this, I would just continue to look for longs because there's no reason to think otherwise yet. So I guess as usual, definitely like and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. Definitely join my Discord channel. It's 100% free to join, no obligations to pay a dime if you do not want to. But if you are looking for a little extra help with your trading, I do offer a Patreon membership, and I have a trading course. I do members forecast every day before the London session on all yen pairs, all dollar pairs, and on oil. So definitely check that out. And I also have a private chat where, like today's news, right before the news come out, I was in the private chat telling my opinion about the news, and today we were right on about the news. Ah, nice. Yeah, the US dollar Swiss is awesome. Yeah, I don't see any reason to think it's over yet. It's definitely a nice trade. So anyways, definitely like and subscribe to my channel. If you want to see my video schedule, then you can definitely join my Discord. I'm going to probably do live streams on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And on Tuesday and Thursday, we're going to do the live Zoom meetings for the Gold Patreon members. And that's where I teach my strategy on top of the course that I offer, on top of the members' forecasts. So the Gold members get a lot for their money, a major lot for their money. So that's it for me today. I'm going to go out, enjoy the rest of the day, probably come back later and make my PM videos. So thanks everybody, and talk to you later, and happy trading as always.